Welcome to another TMG interview. My name is Paul Preston, and we're talking to the team behind a short film that is playing at the 18th annual Oscar qualifying Hollyshorts Film Festival here in LA. It screens this Friday night, August 19th at 5 p.m. Pacific at the TCL Chinese Six Theaters in theater number 4. It's part of a block of films called Friday Feels. So you're going to go to all your good dramas and what have you in that block. The film is called The Errand. The filmmakers are director and co-producer Amanda Renee Knox and actors Naya Johnson and Ezekiel Bridges. I'll applaud. You'll get more applause at the screen. Good to see you. Now, for anyone who might be listening to the audio only on this, so you don't get confused as to who's who, in case Naya is a young girl, and this is perhaps her first film. We'll get to that in just a moment, but just so you know who you're listening to when you hear the different voices come up. And I'm going to start with Amanda. So for anyone who doesn't know, listening to this, Oscar qualifying, what does that exactly mean for a short filmmaker? How do film festivals get that designation?
Well, there's a whole process that the festival itself has to go through with the Academy. And I know one of my friends was involved with New Orleans Film Festival when they were getting their Academy qualifying status, and they had to, there was a lot of things that they had to do. But for a film to qualify at an Oscar qualifying festival, it would have to win one of the qualifying categories, which I think is usually it's like best short narrative and best animation, but in other some festivals are more heavily lean towards documentary, so they might have a best documentary category. But yeah, short would have to compete in that festival and then be the top film.
Has this short been in another Oscar qualifying film festival yet? Yeah.
No, we just actually started our festival circuit. So we're just on our, I think, 5th screening. We just premiered in Cannes, actually, at the American Pavilion Emerging Filmmaker Showcase. And that was sponsored by the Hollywood Foreign Press this year. So it was kind of a bigger deal.
They're back, or they're whatever they are.
I don't know. But yeah, this is our first qualifying festival. Yeah.
So tell us what the movie is about, because I know there's a lot of dynamics, kind of shoved into a short film that there's, I don't dare explain it.
Yeah, I always like to say that it's about a young girl who hitchhikes, is picked up by a stranger. They have a conversation about life, and then there's a twist at the end, because otherwise you just give it away.
Right, exactly. Cool. But stick around is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
First of all, it's 11 minutes. Stick around.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
Yeah, there's a satisfying story to be had right up to the very end. So now this is your second film, Amanda, or another one I watched online was called Night Call. Ezekiel, you were involved in that. So is that how your relationship started, or did it start before then, or how do you guys go back?
Well, actually, our relationship started back in college. I took a class, and she happened to be taking the same class. It was in acting class with the amazing Stephanie Fury, who I then went and studied with more. Yeah, really good times.
And so, but you have like a producer credit, don't you, on Night Call, that other film?
Yes.
He did a lot of work, like in the beginning of that film, to sort of help, and so he got a producer credit for that.
That's how indie films work, right? Oh man, you got us donuts, producer. You're a producer as far as I'm concerned. We needed these donuts.
Yeah, no, I helped more with just securing cameras in the very beginning of the film, and then she took it and did amazing things with it.
I love the indie film and the indie short film world. It's the greatest stories. So I see you're co-producer and director, but really, what else did you do, Amanda? Did you make lunches? Did you drive people around?
Oh my
Everybody
God.
does a thousand things in these shoots, right?
yeah, I mean, I did a lot. I mean, I did have Laura was phenomenal. She is just an amazing producer. She's going to have an incredible career. I'm certain of it. She's actually not able to come to our screening because she's doing a pilot right now for RTL. That's a big German like company. And
I
but
mean, wow, she's shooting a pilot, right?
I mean,
that if you're
you
gonna
know,
miss, that's why.
yeah, I guess that's an okay excuse. Nick, also our DP, is gonna miss too because he's the DP on the pilot. But I did a lot. I mean, I ended up like doing a lot, some of the returns, like I was taking costumes back and um one for my very short, like way before Night Call, I had the period costumes in my shotgun house in New Orleans, and my costume designer, who happened to be working on Django, lived across the street, so she would come over and like adjust and sew all the costumes. And then I had like racks of bustles and corsets and all
Hey, you
kinds.
made a period piece. Points
Yeah.
right there. That's not
Yeah.
being unrisky, I should say. All right, Naya, we've left you out of this long enough. My bad. So let's circle back around to you again. I mentioned this is your first film. Do I have that correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so how do you get ready to shoot? Because there's a lot counting on you. You're the first person we see in the short, and the narrative kind of runs through you to the end. How do you prepare for your big first day?
Um, Honestly, I don't really have a method yet. I just sort of
Developing it.
yeah, I just like maybe take a few deep breaths right before I go. But otherwise, I just do my best. I don't
Okay, well, were you nervous? Did you sit there and let's go over your lines 100 times, or
I
it's
well,
okay, and it's cool if you were chill, you can be chill. It's all
over
good,
my lines like a while before, so I have them memorized, and then anytime I can just, what was that line again? Um, and yeah, that's why I go over them right before I go on. Um, I wasn't very nervous, honestly. I just acted like the cameras weren't there.
That's 90% of it. Oh yeah,
Oh,
Ezekiel and Amanda met in an acting class. Naya, are you going to take acting classes now?
hopefully, I mean, I don't know.
I like your style. Is this going to be just one of your goals in life? That, well, I made a movie and I'm going to climb a mountain, start a charity, win the Daytona 500. Is that how you are when these kids are just crossing things off the list, one after the other? All right, I'm just going to take that as an answer. Now, Ezekiel, you have extensive credits. You got pretty decent IMDb, appearing in some shows I really enjoy, like Bloodline for one, and Mr. Mayor, which prompted me to look it up and see there's a whole season 2 I haven't even watched yet.
Oh,
So, what? That's I just like Mr. Mayor.
oh well, Mr. Mayor was great for many reasons. Ted Danson is just one of the coolest, nicest people to work with. The scene was pretty funny. It was, and actually, I got to shoot it with my sister. My sister was in the scene as well, and she played. I don't know. There's kind of like a craziness that breaks out in this grocery store that I'm an employee at, and there's some stunts involved. Someone's chugging a shampoo because it has avocado in it.
Oh, it's the avocado.
Really,
That was the last episode of season 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
yeah.
the avocado
And
thing. Yeah.
it was awesome. It shot only like 15 minutes away from my house, so that was really great. Many great things. And Bloodlines, that was a lot of fun because I got to work opposite of John Leguizamo, he's been a favorite actor of mine for a long time. And the funny part,
ever see one of his live shows?
I have not.
I haven't either.
No,
I got to
I
get that
really
out
would
there.
like to. But the funny thing about that one is, so he's coming into an ice cream store that I'm working at, and his face is all bloodied, and he's like, I think he has a weapon or something, and he just looks like a scary guy. And, I'm supposed to be freaked out in it. And 2 days before the shoot, I actually broke my foot. So then, so they had me on, I was all scared. I was like, oh no, but then they ended up working in the crutches into the scene. So that was really nice. But, that was great. Yeah, that one shot in the Keys in Florida.
I know every shot of that show, and I know they shot Ozark in Atlanta, but all the establishing shots of the Ozark Lakes too. I just look like, oh man, there's the thing. I was told. Well, I don't know if I was told it, but it seemed to me like Adam Sandler after a while was just making movies in places he wanted to go.
Yeah,
like he made that movie with
smart
Drew Barrymore where they go on Blended, I think, where they go on safari. It's like, yeah, they wanted to go on safari, so we made a movie about safari.
Yeah, he did the Hawaii one with Drew Barrymore. He did the lake, the grown-ups lake was awesome. Oh yeah.
So I'll open this up to all of you guys. Speaking of that, where was this film shot? The Errand.
It was shot in Pomona. Now there's
yes.
I want to go.
Exotic Pomona, California, and shot 10 hours, 10 hours, not 10 days. Am I reading that correctly? It doesn't say
10 hours. Yes, we shot 8 hours on the one day, and then we had to pick up the gas station scene, so we shot like 2 hours on that or the whatever day it was, Sunday. But 10 hours total.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then how long is post? Is post like twice as long, 4 times as long?
No.
No?
Yeah, I'm pretty efficient. And I think our team was pretty good at knowing what we wanted. Nick was amazing with the camera team. And then of course we had amazing actors, which made it fly by because we didn't really have to do a lot of like, can you see it this way? Or, you guys were great. So, but yeah, post was, we did like maybe 4.5 days total, with the edit. So he did like one, he did the editor's like cut. And then we went back and forth on notes, but Moji was also really, really good. He kind of, what you see is we cut into it and we worked it a little bit, but pretty much he gave me the film like right I was so lucky because that's never happened. The sound actually did take a little bit more time, but it was still pretty fast. We did Will Tabino is actually a friend of mine from high school in Texas, and he lives here now, and he has his own post studio. And so he does like some preliminary dialogue editing and sweetening and stuff. And then for 2 days, and we did a mix, and then we did ADR one day. And then we had Naya do ADR on like a second day. And then we did like 2 hours in the soundstage for our 5.1 mix. And
Naya, I need to jump in because were you going, what am I doing? I said the lines. I got to come say the lines again. Do you have any idea what this ADR nonsense is?
I was kind of confused. All of a sudden my parents are just like, okay, so now you need to go to the studio and do ADR. I'm just like, what is that? And they're just like, basically where you re-record your voice. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I was standing there for a very long time, like in the studio.
That's how it works. Yeah. But you're not here sweating the valley heat with the rest of us, right? Where are you now? And are you coming to town for the big event of your screening on Friday?
Yes, I am. Right now, I am in Colorado, and I will be going to California on Thursday. So, yeah.
Now, did production fly you in for ADR? Production. I love saying that.
No, I was in Colorado.
Okay.
Actually, I don't mind phone patches. They're fun.
As long as on their end the audio is getting recorded well,
Yeah. And they were proper studios. So they keep recording in Denver, and then how do you pronounce it, Zeke? Do you know?
Was it at Mackay? I was with my my ADR session. Sorry, can't
Yeah.
talk. Took place in Kauai at a place called Mackay, which is kind of in like the Princeville area.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a really good time doing that. The guys.
You were in Kauai. Whatever you were doing was going to be fine.
That's true. That's true. I was living there for 6 months. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Great place.
I did 6
Yeah.
days once, and I thought it was awesome. So I can only imagine.
I definitely recommend it to everyone. Yeah, it's great place.
All right. So what's the plan Friday? Dinner? You gonna do all the schmoozing you got to do with all the people at the festival? You gonna see other films? What's the plan?
Well, Naya, do you want to tell them the plan?
I don't know the plan.
Wait, we've established she's chill. She's like, hey, I'm just gonna show up and we're gonna have some fun.
We have we have a red carpet. So we have Getty is coming out to photos, which is exciting. So we have the screening, and then there's a little gathering that we're hosting for the cast and the crew, and beloved friends, aka donors, supporters.
Yes. Did you do an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter or anything? Or
we did about half and half. So we raised a bit of money on Seed and Spark.
Oh yes. Oh, I did see that logo at the end of the film. You're right.
I highly recommend Seed and Spark. They have a great they give their filmmakers a lot of support and a lot of help throughout the campaign. So it's really, really nice. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear that's one of their ways to stand out was to be active in solutions and networking and all these other things that filmmakers need and at that level.
Yeah. And it's more of so Kickstarter, Indiegogo, you can do 10 campaigns and not have a base. But with this one, you can build your sort of community, and so you can take them to the next project or announce the next project. I mean, it's really, I don't know, I didn't feel so alone. On the other ones, I felt like, oh, I'm doing this horrible. I hate crowdfunding. It's the worst. But
it's like unemployment insurance, though. The money's there for you. Yeah. And you should just go get it and not feel so bad. I felt horrible the first time I filed for unemployment. And then a buddy of mine's like, the money's there, dude. It's for you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Same with this. People want to help you out. Let them.
Yeah. So.
Now, I want to go back to a question I should have asked earlier. Naya, how did you even get involved in this? Like from Colorado? Did you audition? How did the audition come about?
So my mom is friends with Miss Amanda, and
it helps to know somebody, doesn't it, Naya? Even at your level.
So she heard about this movie and she's just like, oh, my daughter's perfect for this. And then I audition and I get the part.
Well, points to your mom, because how would she know you're perfect for this? Like with no experience. And then when you see the film, you go, yeah, mom was right. Mom was right.
So can I
and here's mom.
Yeah, there's mom.
The cool thing is, hello everybody, is that this came out of an act of kindness from Amanda. Amanda and I were at an all-female writers retreat, and she offered to help people with their pitch decks. And I had done my first pitch deck, not knowing very much about pitch decks at all. And she showed
That's like
me
the big Bible for making your short or indie, right?
Yeah. And so she showed me her pitch deck and she goes, oh, we've cast it all except for the little girl. And the log line was, when a 10-year-old girl is picked up by a 30-year-old man hitchhiking, who gives whom a ride? And I said, oh, you should audition my daughter because she takes me for a ride every day. And then the rest is history. So all from Amanda's kindness, and she was perfect for it, I think.
She was.
Yeah. Mom, you're coming to town too to do the Hollywood thing, right?
I am.
There you go. Cool.
I just stopped dress shopping unsuccessfully.
Naya's just going to run free on the street.
I mean, I would.
I
I
take
wouldn't.
such good care of kids.
I wouldn't flinch. I'd be like, "Oh, that girl, she's got it together. She knows what's up. She proved it in the interview. She's cool." So I want to talk real quick about Night Call, though, because if you're interested in the Errand, obviously you're gonna have to follow it on its film festival run right now. But you can watch Night Call right now on Vimeo, and I'll put the link in the description of this interview. A lot of authentic stuff going on there, from the police uniforms to the cars. How do you get all that and not be, Michael Bay for a short film? How did that all come your way?
I shadowed. I'm trying to keep it short. So I shadowed on Chicago Med, and in my second year of grad school, because I had been Donald Petrie's TA, and he invited me to shadow, and so the producers agreed. And so I was struggling with my thesis film in grad school, and I turned to one of the EPs and I said, "Do you want to write my thesis?" And he said, "No." But this guy, Joe Souza, and he does a lot of action, and he might want to write it. So we threw around some ideas. He wrote the script. Marlene loved it, so she came on to do it.
And I should say, this is a story about a female police woman in LA's inner city who has kind of a harrowing night out on the streets.
Yes. Yeah. So Marlene Barrett came on to do it. And we had 10 days to shoot it. And you just get things, like, you just look at the script and, like, I found a cop car that was here that was, like, pretty reasonable, and he gave us a discount because we were, I like you guys. And then I wanted to do.
He's selling cop car. A guy selling cop cars. Okay.
we
I got cop cars. You want a cop car?
Very authentic. He was really. It was important for him. My cat's gonna photobomb. There she is.
That's all right. We got moms, cats. Zeke, if anyone you want to bring in, feel free.
Yeah. A couple dogs.
So yeah. So we ended up. I just kind of got all the things that I just got. The uniforms, and the person who I mentioned that lived across the street from me in New Orleans we had such a great time on that shoot that she actually flew in, and she was my costume designer. So she had done a lot of work with blood and a lot of work with, like, uniforms and stuff, because she works on, like, big movies and television shows. So it was great to have her. And then I don't know. We used 2 cameras for the action stuff. I had we shot actually in the same exact place that we shot the Errand. All that action, like the car driving and stuff. Just a different story. But
the underpass and the running that all there.
Yeah. The coordinator, and I used a motocam for the car work. So a motocam is like a motorcycle with a sidecar, which is cool. And put the camera in the sidecar, and you can have more mobility. I really wanted, obviously, like a Porsche with a, jib or whatever rig, but obviously we didn't have like $100,000 for that. So we used the motocam.
Still, look like you did. That's all that matters.
And then we shot it on the street, and like we took 6.5 to shoot out of the 10.
Kids, it's about who you know. And if you think I don't know anybody, you know enough people to help you get the things you need to do the shoot. Your neighbor, like you said, just you don't know Clint Eastwood, but I mean, maybe you do, but there's things that you can get anywhere. Okay, congrats on the Errand, but I'm going to ask you something that I ask everyone who I interview. What is your favorite movie of all time? Ezekiel.
For me, it's always shifting. Some days I'll have a favorite movie and then it'll switch. But one that has always kind of remained at a top spot in my top 3 would be Forrest Gump. Classic one. Yeah.
A lot going on in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, and a great director, Robert Zemeckis. I mean, working probably at his height back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Amanda?
Oh, I have two. One is the piano,
Mm.
and one is the Hurt Locker, because that sort of changed the way I wanted to make movies.
Really? In what way?
Um, when I watched it, I felt like I was part of the action, and I hadn't really ever gotten that from any other movie that I had seen prior to that. And so it made me really curious about how she shot it. Actually, I saw it before I was ever directing, and then I revisited it in grad school and like took it apart shot by shot to teach myself how to shoot in the style. Like literally every time the camera moved or changed, I made a chart, and I yeah. So
I'm doing that with the script I'm writing. I don't know if you've ever seen Lost in America, the Albert Brooks film from the mid '80s. It's such a concise comedy. I want to have that many scenes. So I broke it down. This is how many scenes he did to get from point A to end of film. And I wanted to do the same thing. So yeah, you break that down just and emulate the greats, you'll be in a good shape.
Well, yeah. Well, it taught me how to do quick edits and sort of where to, like, that it's okay. Like usually in those things, continuity isn't, a lot of people get precious about continuity. And if you go through and break down any of Tarantino's, like the bar scene and Inglourious Bastards, there's blood on people in one shot, and then it's not there in another, like a second later, and then it's there again, but you don't know that because your eye doesn't pick it up.
Yeah. There are bullet holes behind Jules and Vincent in the scene with Big Kahuna Burger before the guy even busts out of the bathroom and shoots at him. But you don't know because it's a good, that they have. I got friends who are actors going, on my audition tapes, I have to make sure I have a blank background. I just think, that's just someone being petty. If you're not interesting, if you're interesting, I should say that the reverse, it doesn't matter what your background is. And those characters and that story is so interesting. It doesn't matter. You're not going to notice those things unless you pour over it 100 times.
Yeah.
Naya, your time with us is shorter than everybody else so far. But on this earth and the amount of time you have been here, what is your favorite movie of all time?
I don't really have a favorite movie. I watch too many movies.
You know what there is? There's too much TV right now. Like they nominated all these things for Emmys and they left out about another 20 great shows. So but movies, there are a lot of movies, I suppose, as well. I managed to see them all, but I live here in LA where they show them all. But there's nothing like if I put it on right now, I'd be like, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen.
What's your favorite book, Naya?
It's a series. Is that okay?
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
fine.
Probably Dork Diaries.
Okay.
And I read it all the time. I love it so much.
You reread it?
I just read all the books, and if I really like the book, I read it over again.
You read it again. Wow. That's commitment. I sometimes can't watch a whole movie again. That's only 2 hours. Good for you. All right. Well, listen, we have to pick a great favorite movie of all time. So start thinking about that. And then, just for future conversations. Mine's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? No.
Nope.
How old are you?
I'm 11 now.
That's when I saw it. So hopefully you're on the verge of that movie. That movie? That's fun. You're going to love it. Okay. And just for fun, anybody have a favorite short film of all time? Now that we're talking about short films.
I do.
Yeah.
There's the Blue. Oh, it's in German. A friend of mine, I think it's Blue Summer Sun. It's about a day at the pool, and I think it was nominated for a Student Academy Award or an Academy Award back in 2017. But it's so good. It's black and white, and it's a beautiful film.
Blue Summer Sun?
I think it's Blue Summer Sun. It's in German, so
check the internet.
But it was it screened at Film School Fest Munich when I was there, and it won the best short, and it was just like, it was just very sort of this poetic kind of ode to like a day at the pool in Germany. And it showed a bunch of different sort of people that were around this pool and how they all related in their conversations. And it was just kind of a slice of life, but it was so compelling and beautifully shot. And
Sounds like something the old, what was it, the Lumiere brothers? Is that what they were called? Something they would shoot. You know, they just had the train station, camera on a train station, camera on people leaving work.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
show some interesting stuff. Zeke, you got one? A short film?
You know, it's more of the company that does them. I just love all the Pixar shorts. Those are
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I immediately think live action, and I'm limiting myself. Man, the Pixar stuff is so good. Yeah. All right. Well, gang, enjoy yourself this Friday. Once again, it's Hollyshorts at the Chinese 6 theaters in downtown Hollywood. Theater 4, I believe, 5 p.m. August 19th. We'll be showing The Errand, and it's worth it. And it'll, again, be in a block of shorts. You'll have a great time, probably 2 hours worth of good films and a lot of variety in that time. So that wraps this interview. Follow us at The Movie Guys on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole shebang. Is there social for this film?
We really
Or
only
website?
Instagram. It's the Errand film, and it's with 2 E's.
At The Errand Film. Got it. Cool. And as ever, thank you, Amanda, Naya, and Ezekiel. You can find out everything we're up to, including reviews, articles, and more interviews like this at themovieguys.net. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
you.